Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Well, joining me today is he's an actor, and this is what it says on his Facebook page. Okay, a resident alien, ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Paul O'Neill. Welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone.
I think some of my family members might be aliens.
Really?
Well, they act weird.
Green
I
alien.
shouldn't say weird. I
The
don't
gray,
know.
the gray.
I don't know if aliens are weird.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know. I don't personally know any.
Oh, okay.
that I know
Well,
of.
whatever. Well,
Yeah.
you said you were
Well,
resident.
there might be some in the show. There might be
What show?
on Resident Alien.
So that's what you're in.
That's the show I'm on.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I totally misunderstood that. Well, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
No, I'm the bartender on the show. I run the 59 bar there.
Oh, okay. Well, so where's that aired?
That airs on, well, it's moving over to the USA Network, but it's on Sci-Fi in the States right now.
Cool.
They are moving to USA Network. They start filming again in December out in Vancouver here. So I'm excited to get back to work.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
And when did you start acting?
I've been acting, oh gosh, I started off modeling actually when I was about 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got into singing, and in about the 90s started doing background acting. In oh gosh, probably about 2006 or 7, I started working for a talent agency,
Mhm.
and then did that for a few years. Danced in the closing ceremonies for the 2010 Olympics.
Nice.
Yeah, that was fun. And then started my own company in 2016, which I had going until COVID,
Oh.
or just
oh.
after COVID.
So an acting company.
Yeah.
What did you, were you, sorry, blah, blah, were you teaching acting or were you finding roles for actors?
I was finding roles for actors. So we had a talent agency where Ace Extras and 4 Aces Talent.
Mhm.
And I found various different actors for various parts. We had people in the Percy Jackson movie originally as the photo doubles for the gods. So when it shows all the gods sitting in their thrones, that's
Yeah.
my people.
Yeah.
Sucker Punch was another one that we
Okay.
had a lot of girls in. Riverdale.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, I had some of the biggest movies and TV series.
Nice.
I had clients on,
Nice.
which actually went from doing background work to actually becoming full actors, full union member actors.
So has it always been like a TV movie type of thing, or have you ever done stage?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did stage in the 90s. I was in Hello Dolly, The Mikado, a local production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
So you have a lot of.
HMS Pinafore.
Right.
Yeah,
Because as an actor, I know you do all of this, like the resume, right?
Yes.
The roles and what your part was, so you have a long list.
I do.
Obviously.
Yeah, I even worked on the cruise lines for several
Oh,
years.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
as a DJ and entertainment staff on the cruise lines.
And how was that?
That was okay. I've got anxiety, so the anxiety, I'm actually autistic as well,
Okay.
which I found out in my 40s.
Yeah.
But anxiety and autism go hand in hand.
No, I have anxiety. I've never been diagnosed with autism, but I understand anxiety.
Yeah.
I can do anything on stage or in front of a camera or whatever, but.
See, I'm like that now. I can't go on stage anymore. I get really,
Oh,
it's
okay.
the buildup
Yeah,
to getting out on stage. Being on stage, the energy and whatever, I can get up and sing.
right.
That's fine, but trying to remember the lines now,
Okay.
and having the anxiety about those lines before I get up there. Once I'm on stage, it
Mhm.
just all, kicks in
So it's that
naturally,
build-up,
right? But
yeah.
it's that build up. So I've had to stop doing that now.
Mine is social anxiety,
Yeah.
getting out there, meeting people and all that stuff, like. I'm so uncomfortable. I'd
Yeah,
rather be anywhere else.
yeah, I hear you there.
But it's interesting because people don't often think that of actors.
Yeah.
Of performers. They just see people who are out there doing a really good job of whatever it is they're doing.
Well, you wouldn't believe it, but Ryan Reynolds suffers from anxiety. Michael Bublé, who I've met, I actually
Okay.
beat him in a singing contest
you?
back in the day. Yeah, but anyway,
Oh.
he's got anxiety, and nothing was really advertised, but I know that from working with him.
Okay,
He's definitely got socialized anxiety where large groups of people kind of freak him out and he's got to
Right.
stay in his zone. And I've noticed that with a lot of actors, they've either got ADHD or they've got anxiety, so they need to stay focused on their lines, and may come across as being really snobby and whatever, but it's the fact that they're trying to remember those lines
for sure.
and they're either very anxious about it or, again, if they've got ADHD, they will completely lose the plot
Yeah, yeah.
and go on to another thing if they
Right.
don't stay focused, right? So, yeah,
It's all very interesting. I find it fascinating, you know?
yeah, it's a
Right.
neat world.
It is a really neat world. I mean, so tell me about being autistic as well, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. I found out that I was autistic because my son was diagnosed, but I've always felt that I was a little bit off. I've always been kind of socially awkward. Just saying the wrong things at the wrong time around the wrong people,
I've done, oh my gosh.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I've done that.
Well, that's why I like doing stuff like this. Like I used
Yeah.
to have a vlog as well. We used to do
Okay.
a show called Draft Punk.
Right.
And we were promoting the local craft breweries and distilleries
Oh, yeah.
around here when COVID hit, so people would still order and promote
Sure.
them and whatever. I got free stuff from that, so
Nice.
there was like kind of a personal side to
I
it,
love freebies.
right? Free stuff is good.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we did that and and I just totally went off the market.
We're talking about autism and.
Talking about
how you
autism,
how you
but
worked
anyway.
that. When you found out.
I found out probably when I was about 41, 42,
Okay.
not long after my ex-wife left.
Oh.
And just left me and my son. So the two of us, she's up in Williams Lake with my stepkids, except for Marcus, he's in Tulsa,
Okay.
with his dad. And then me and Grayson live in Chilliwack. And yeah, no, as I've been learning more about him, I've been learning more about myself.
Mhm.
It's such a crazy creature. Certain things will trigger me, and a lot of it's tied into the anxiety.
Yeah.
So anxiety can bring out rage,
Yeah.
but anxiety is, again, part and parcel with the autism, people that have bipolar disorder,
Okay. Mhm.
anything kind of in that area, the anxiety will set off the anger.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so when you can't,
You don't know how to cope with it.
when you don't know how to
Yeah.
talk, all of a sudden it just, bleh,
Right, right.
right? Not happening as much now that I'm aware of it.
Right, yeah. Makes a difference when you know why you're experiencing certain things, right?
That's right, yeah, because I recognize it now and I can calm it down before it
Good.
escalates.
Yeah.
But
it's obviously hasn't stopped you from doing the things you want to do.
no,
So that's the
no, if
beauty of it.
anything, it's kind of given me new purpose and new focus. Like right now, my number one focus is being dad,
Mhm.
being single dad for Grayson. So I don't get to act very much these days.
Okay.
But it's something that I'll get back into. I'm feeling more and more confident behind the camera. See, I find with myself, like for example, if I go to karaoke, which I love karaoke, it's a good venue for me to get on stage, be me for a short amount of time, and if the audience reacts well to it,
It's a bonus.
then it feeds my confidence and I can
Sure.
go out there and be social,
Oh, okay.
right? If
Okay.
it doesn't react well, I kind of go into my shell and I leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's good. I've made some friends around here through that, which I have a
Cool.
hard time doing, making friends. I mean that the other side of it as well is just the whole, I'm in this acting world and it's like, do they want to be my friend because I'm an actor, or do they want to actually be my friend?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you kind of
yeah.
close
But
yourself
that's
off to that.
but that's anxiety, right?
And that's the anxiety, yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, so it's so weird. It's so weird how everything's, relative.
For sure, yeah. But it's so, I mean, I'm just sort of listening to you and like I took some acting classes years ago and the acting teacher, like I've always felt socially awkward, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I just could describe myself as like a social nerd. And the acting teacher did something really good for me. He said, "You're quirky," and that's a good thing.
Oh, quirky's
You know,
great, yeah.
yeah, so then I've learned to refocus, stopping considering myself socially inadequate or whatever. I'm quirky and
Yeah.
I'm okay with that, you know. so-
Quirky comes, I do a lot of comedy, like a lot of
Oh, yeah,
the acting type that I do is
Yeah.
comedy, and it's, you know, on spot. Like I grew up, my family's British.
okay.
So I grew up with that dry, you know, Fawlty
Yes, yes.
Towers, Benny Hill, British humor,
The
right?
British get away with so much that nobody else does.
Right? And I think that's part of my problem too, that I am British. I fit in, I can switch my accent over. So I go to Liverpool every couple of years where
Yeah.
my family is, the rest of my family. And I can fit in there like a daisy shit, you know, switch the accent over, and nobody believes I'm from Canada because I am an actor, so I can use that to my advantage. But
Beautiful.
my humor is very UK based as
Right.
well, right? So they love me over there.
Yeah, I bet. I
Over
bet,
here, it's so funny. Like I've noticed over here, as soon as you pass those Rocky Mountains,
yeah.
we're not very Canadian. Like past the Rocky Mountains, you know, on like I hate to say it, like we're more Americanized
No, for sure.
in the west coast of BC.
Yeah.
We're very, very Western culture, like very woke, very politically correct
Yeah. See,
to a fault.
I understand that. I was born in New Brunswick and I grew up in Quebec.
Yeah.
Then Ontario was like weird.
Oh yeah,
for me.
Toronto is like this. It's like it's in this dome of its own
Yeah.
compared to the rest of Eastern Canada, you know?
And then coming here. It's
And the prairies are just so laid back. Everyone's like, eh. Like they don't need to smoke weed there because they're already like that. You know, everyone here is so high strung and just so concerned with doing everything correct and not offending anyone, and
I know.
in the process offending a lot of people.
It's like I used to do, I was with an improv team and
Yeah.
we had to be careful what the things we said, you know? Well, one of my friends, like, she was the best one. She could
It's
put
the
a.
fun in
an
doing
East-
improv.
I know.
Right.
My friend could do the best East Indian accent of all.
Yeah.
But, you know, somebody would say, well, man, you shouldn't do this. Then we would do these Catholic priest jokes, which I love because I grew up Catholic.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, heaven forbid, you know,
Right.
it's gonna offend somebody, and it's like, you're right.
I've got friends that are Catholic priests that laugh at the Catholic jokes.
Like,
You know what I
come on,
mean,
and
right?
it's humor.
Of course it is.
To me,
Humor is taking a bad thing or a stereotypical thing and making it awkwardly funny.
absolutely, and it's pushing the boundaries.
It is, of
Right.
course it is.
Yeah.
It's yeah, no, that's exactly it. Or a facial expression, or I did an episode of The Flash.
Okay,
Okay,
Oh my
and
gosh.
the whole reason I was on that episode, I met the director who was also, he played like Sherlock Wells and Harrison Wells and
Okay.
the Reverse Flash, Tom Cavanaugh, great actor, very underrated. But anyway, he was directing one episode where I played this like sleazy cheating husband thing, and this detective guy, the character they were introducing, elongated man, they introduced him, and he's looking at the pictures. Well, the girl that I was working with did not, they were going to upgrade us, and she wanted, they wanted us to kiss and whatever, and she was not okay with that. I'm like, you know, again, it's acting, right?
yeah,
You know, you do what you have to do. I filmed the ex-wife at the time, and you know, is this okay? She's like, you're gonna be making a lot of money. I'm like, yeah. She's like, do it. You know? Right?
yeah.
Right. So yeah, she was cool like that. But anyway, this girl would not do it. And she was very, very West Coast, very like the epitome of West Coast, privileged, you know, like just, and anyway, so she ended up getting the boot from the set because she had an attitude as well. And they ended up not getting the pictures they wanted.
Oh, okay.
But I connected with Tom, who was directing the episode, and he really liked me. So he upgraded me. He gave me an actor credit so I could get on the union. And then he brought me back a year later
Right.
to play a role where they could actually see me because he thought I was quite funny too. And I'll never forget that day too. It was the day the lady died on Deadpool 2.
Oh, okay.
They were filming that in Vancouver, and it went like wildfire. It's a very small community, right? Even though she was a motorbike rider from New York, it still hit the community hard
Sure.
there because she was here when it
Yeah,
happened,
right,
right?
yeah,
So, but anyway, Tom and I hit it off. He thought I was cool. He liked my acting confidence, right? Because acting confidence is completely different from in-person confidence, you know what I
of
mean?
course.
Right? And he invited me back for this episode where I was, my actual title was Lactose Intolerant Man. And I did this whole fart gag improv scene with him making these lines up and
Yeah.
me reacting to what he was saying.
Cool. Oh my God,
And it was awesome.
that must have been fun.
It
Yeah.
was so funny. We got it in like one take.
Wow.
It
Now-
was their
wow.
test take.
Oh, right.
It was their test take. And he's like, we got it. I'm like, what? I didn't even know we were filming. It's like, surprise.
So
Yeah.
cool. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is such a great, I'm so glad you came here and started and agreed to be on my show because this is so much fun. Listening to all the things, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Because I'm thinking, I've met a lot of actors and they'll mostly talk about the movies they did or whatever, but for you, it's more than that though. And like I'm getting, it's more than that. You become this other person we're able to meet these actors, get on these beautiful shows, these fantastic shows.
The big thing for me, more than anything, my favorite part about acting, yes, one, making people laugh,
Mhm.
getting a smile on people's faces. But the most, and I get goosebumpy talking about it, the most amazing thing to me about acting, about being in that world.
Yeah.
I don't get starstruck. I don't get celebrity struck.
Okay.
I like to talk to people
Like,
at their level,
Sure.
like people,
Yeah.
and to sit down and talk to people that have crafted and toned their talent
right,
to a point where like the Kurt Russells, Kevin Bacon,
Mhm.
I've met
Nice.
The Rock, people actually sorry, Anna Gassmeyer and what is her name? She was just on Jimmy Fallon recently. Rachel Dratch. Freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Alan Tunix on Resident Alien. Linda from the Terminator is on it.
right. I think it's so wonderful. The problem, like, I would love to interview people like Ryan Reynolds and all those, but you have to go through their agents now.
I've talked to Ryan on Facebook accidentally. I cracked a joke through my son's page.
Right.
He loved it and replied back and whatever, right? I
Nice.
talked to the girl who plays Miss Marvel. But again, I'm sidetracking.
That's all right. I don't mind.
Going back, just talking to these people on a human level,
Mhm.
that have mastered the craft
Yeah.
and that are doing it.
Yeah.
And these are people I can relate to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's not, you're not Kurt Russell. You're the dude that's using the money in your pocket to buy the extras proper lunches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're not eating bagged sandwich lunches back
Yeah.
in the day, and he changed all that for Vancouver.
Cool.
You're not Kevin Bacon. You are a guy on set right now supporting his wife who's directing the show and having a chat,
Yeah.
You're not Jensen Ackles. You're the husband of the lady that's about to have a baby who's pregnant at the same time as my wife at the time,
Mhm.
who's having a conversation about parenthood.
Right.
Like they're real people.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And they're eccentric people. They're our type of people, and it's cool. Like
Yeah.
I
love that. Yeah.
I love it too. They've got their issues, I had Colby Smulders and she was Robin Sparkles on How I Met Your Mother and
Oh, okay.
Agent Maria Hill in The Avengers.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had her and her husband and their autistic daughter, nonverbal, in my office playing with my son and his toys. And we really connected.
Yeah.
Like I still talk to her husband on
You had something.
X every now and again.
You had something in common,
Yes.
right? And
Like
that's the whole
these are
deal.
real people. Like I
Yeah.
was starstruck about her at first because of her powers, but these are real people, like with real lives. They're
Yeah.
not these celebrities that they're made out to be. You see them posing for their
Of
pictures.
course, and they're asked to do that,
Because
right?
they're told to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
To actually get to feel their, like I'm an empath too, so I can feel their mood. I can
Mhm.
feel if they're real or not.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome. It's just these are people that I aspire to be like, good people that are doing what they can with what they have,
Mm.
which is a bit more than most of us, to help others. Like a lot of them do help others in the community, and a lot of them have mental issues as well.
Right.
And they escape to acting as a way to deal with it, to cope with it.
Yeah,
You
and they
know?
give back. A lot of them just give back whatever way that, whatever it means to them.
They do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Like for Ryan, he's got anxiety. I don't know him super well yet. I will know him.
Yeah.
I will.
I
We've
bet
talked,
you-
Ryan, I will know you more. We have talked about this.
And Ryan, you better come on my show once you get to know him.
Anyway, but yeah, like even Hugh Jackman, I wasn't a fan of him musically,
Mhm.
and then I saw The Greatest Showman, and I've seen other things that he's been doing, and you know what? He's a lot better musically than I thought. I always saw him as he started off musically.
Oh, we didn't know that.
Neither did I, right?
Yeah.
And he's given me a thumbs up on a few things too
Yeah.
that I posted poking at Ryan.
And it's so funny because Hugh Jackman is somebody like I never thought of as musical.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's where he started. Well, funny story, actually. On Resident Alien, if you ever watched the show, the guy who plays the sheriff, I'm sure you will now, but the
Okay.
guy who plays the sheriff on the show, it's got a lot of famous comedians that show on it,
Okay,
but and Linda Hamilton's on it. That's what I was maybe saying earlier.
all right.
And Alan Tudyk, he's got a role in every Disney movie since the early 2000s.
Holy, now
And
that's
he
nice.
plays the alien.
Wow, that is very nice.
Yeah. Super famous. You wouldn't even know, but he's voice famous. But anyway. The sheriff, the guy who plays the sheriff on this show, and he's like, they call him Big Black. He's this African-American, foul mouth, like, typical Southern
Yeah, yeah.
style, like, don't mess with me, man, it's going down. And he's a Broadway actor.
Isn't that marvelous?
Yeah, and we sat there and we just talked about Broadway when I was doing my acting role. And every time I run into him, we talk about Broadway, and he's this like tough, comedic, politically incorrect at times sheriff on the show
Right.
who completely had this other life of dancing and singing on stage. He said dancing was not his strong suit, but
I just, first of all, I envy people who can sing.
Yeah.
I don't, so I love that idea of being able to sing. And I was always a good dancer as a child, but we never had dancing classes or lessons like that,
Yeah.
I would love to have that as
I
well.
wish I'd taken dancing when I was younger, because that's something I'm not super confident about. I'll do it, but it sends me into anxiety overload.
It's kind of interesting what makes us nervous and what doesn't, or I say nervous, but the anxiety, like I'm a person that my brain doesn't shut off, and it goes in this loop. I worry about something that goes round and round until something else comes up. So now this one's gone. Now I'm going to worry about this thing.
Pretty much.
So,
Yeah.
and it's
And then you add kids and dogs to the factor, and
my kids are all grown, but still.
yeah, my boy is he's in those preteen puberty stages right now, so he's
Yeah, of course.
you
Yeah,
don't know
because the
what
hormones
you're
all
gonna
over the
get,
place.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna bring him today, but we're
And
just.
I had set up for him
I
a
know.
little pad that it's supposed to be for watercolors, but I thought you could probably use, because I had some oil pastels. I hate
We'll
oil
have
pastels.
fun with that.
I hate oil pastels. So if you want to take that home, you can have that.
Ooh.
Because I was gonna have him, I was gonna ask him if you want to, play with one.
I
of
was
them.
actually gonna buy some oil pastels the other day, so that's
Well, then,
perfect.
it's not a
Yeah,
big
yeah, yeah.
pack, but it's not a big pack, but I don't know, just why we're saying this on camera, but what the heck,
That's fine, why not? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's cool, that's super
But-
cool. I've actually got a canvas at home, so that'll be something fun to
And
do
I've
with
just
him
been
later on.
this little sketchbook. It's like I said, it's meant for watercolor, but I figure you can use anything.
Yeah.
I don't
Why
pay
not?
attention. No, somebody else decided that rule.
Right, right,
Not me.
yeah, I mean, once it goes in a frame, it's in a frame,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no,
Okay, so now let's get back to, like, when you had your business, it must be so hard when COVID came in. And then, the things that shut down, right?
mhm.
So you had all these fabulous actors, your company representing them, you were representing them. Now suddenly you couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. We kept it going with grants and everything that were coming in during the time. We did keep it going. And then in 2022, I signed it over for $1 to another company,
Okay.
and they took my debt too.
Oh, well, that's nice, yeah.
Yeah, and then they went bankrupt. Sorry.
You squeezed out of that one pretty good.
Yeah, no, I
But
got
no,
out
I
right
mean-
at the right time, but it was difficult because I had all these people, that were relying on that. That was their livelihood, and it was my livelihood, and
But you had no control over COVID. Nobody did.
no, and it took like those 2 years, just the mental anguish from that. I had to offload it. I couldn't do it anymore. I felt horrible, even though I had no control of it.
But still, you felt that certain.
And
point
it was kind of part and parcel to killing my marriage too.
Oh, okay.
Just
Yeah.
the focus on that. And,
Mhm.
I mean, there was other things. The floods happened around that time too, and the farmhouse we were in sunk into the earth.
Ah, oh,
Yeah, and it was crazy. I was working on Nancy Drew at the time.
you see, keep dropping all these names.
I was on that show for 5 years as the chef.
Wow, oh my gosh.
Yeah, when the floods happened, like it was 4 hours to get to work and 4 hours to get back. So I ended up spending a lot of time at my ex's parents' house. And
It's hard on really.
she got lonely, and
Yeah.
you
See,
know,
I'm the only person I know that had no problem during COVID, because I discovered Zoom. So I didn't know about it much before that, so.
me neither. Before that.
Yeah, so I'm able to interview people.
Do you know what's
wherever they are.
really funny right now? We're having an interview. She's got no pants on at the moment. Like she's just.
You weren't supposed to reveal that.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
I'm sorry. She's just
God.
sitting here, and I'm just like, put some clothes on, lady.
Well, I'm thinking like, it's my home, why should I?
True that. True that. That's what I loved about Zoom, though. You can do like just a random background. You can be sitting
Yeah.
on the toilet on a Zoom meeting, right?
Yes, well, I've never tried that one, but I'm the, when these people.
We're actually in a swimming pool right now.
I don't get lonely,
Yeah.
so, somebody said to me, Nancy, COVID didn't change your life at all. I said, no, it didn't. I had a reason that not have to go out, cause.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt too. I had an excuse to not people.
Yeah, exactly, cause
Unless I wanted to. Like Zoom was great. Okay, yeah, I gotta go now.
that's right, yeah, but the beauty of it for me is like I can interview, I have a musician friend now. I call him my friend because he's been on the show a number of times. He's
Nice.
in New Zealand, and I've interviewed people, my son is in China, so he's been on the show.
That's cool.
Right, all of these wonderful places that I would never.
Where about in China?
He's in Shanghai.
Shanghai. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
He's been over there for over 20 years.
See, I've not. I desperately want to go to
Oh, it's-
Asia. I've not been there yet. That's the one.
Oh.
Asia and Africa are the two parts of the world that I have not seen,
I want to go to Thailand. I've been to Indonesia.
and Australia. But
Yeah, all right. I've been been to Indonesia when my son was working there for a year.
Yep.
And the people are so nice. There's a lot of poverty, but they're so happy people.
Yeah.
China, they're not that happy, friendly, or outgoing people. That's just not who they are.
No, they're very
We were treated well, but they're just a different type of people.
very programmed. Like it's just everything kind of goes in a certain way, like it almost robotic. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I don't want to
Some
talk too much
parts.
about them because
No, I'm
my
not-
daughter-in-law is Chinese, so
I'm not saying anything bad because
it's just the way we.
just the cultural difference,
Yeah.
like it's very communist orientated,
Of course it is.
and I've been to Russia before,
Mm,
and I've seen that firsthand too, being in that culture. Like it's
it's a different way.
a different way of thinking,
Yeah.
and protected, looked after, and what so, and just follow the rules. And to be honest with you, not a commie at all, but to some points, to have rules and regulations and things to follow and not have to worry about everything and everyone else and
Yeah.
what they're thinking,
Right.
they kind of got something right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all about real democracy,
Yeah.
but we don't
Yeah.
really live in a
No,
democracy.
there's
We're
no-
more socialists,
Exactly, yeah.
but whole other
I
story.
love everything about China, like it's a beautiful place in that there you see the new and the modern young people, because there's a lot of influences from North America with different countries.
Oh,
right?
of course.
But you also see the old ways, like people using these kind of brooms. I don't know how to explain it to them. They're just like these wispy things sweeping the roads, and
Yeah.
it's just, I love it all,
It's a straw broom. I've got one for my patio.
And they grow things, this is it, they use everything, like they, on their balconies, they'll have vegetables growing or whatever, or drying, and heaven forbid we put our laundry outside, you know, like we get in trouble for putting in laundry. Pardon?
I can relate. I've got veggies on my patio. I live in an apartment.
Yeah,
I've
but
done the
what
whole,
would you?
I've done the whole patio up. Veggies, I've got a pond. I make use of the space, and that's something I love about them too. I love going to the dollar stores. I love their food, their cuisine. Like, I really want to go over there.
Yeah.
Now, Japan is probably more my cup of tea because it's more bustling. It's more like what Hong Kong used to be like.
Right,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yes, exactly, yeah.
Right?
Well, you'd be surprised though, Shanghai, I mean, it's not what people think from here.
Well, Shanghai is very modern though, the
Yeah.
way they've done it. They've allowed it to be like that.
And my son lived in, when he first went in, he lived in Beijing at
Yeah.
first, not
Dubai
first.
is another place that's like that, where they've allowed it to.
It's different now, it's just,
Yeah.
there's a lot, because there's so much influence from outside of.
Tourist friendly,
Yeah, oh, definitely,
right?
and the food, when I think of Chinese food, I don't think of going to, the Chinese
No, no,
restaurant here, although I do like that, but it's like.
all right.
Well, it's because I miss real Chinese food.
I go to Chinatown. I used to go, there's a place in
That's nice.
Chinatown that used to be called Kent's Kitchen.
Mm,
And it was traditional, it was a Chinese, like an open smorgasbord, not smorgasbord, sorry, like cafeteria style.
Yeah.
Like what they've got in China.
yeah,
Proper, you go in that on rice or on noodles,
Right.
and it wasn't westernized, like it was very. Some of the foods were bland, some of them were seasoned, you know,
Yeah.
it's just like when you go to Mexico.
I don't know, I've never been.
Oh, I've been to Mexico. I used to work off the coast of Mexico, and their like their tacos and stuff are very. Some people would say bland.
Is it
but-
right, eh?
Yeah, but good,
Okay,
right? It's not westernized. It's not got all these
Okay.
flavors
Yeah.
and you know.
changed completely from what would be the traditional.
Yeah,
food.
like I like that. Honduras, another place like that, where like China, like from what you were saying.
Yeah.
Like Indonesia.
Yeah.
In some of the areas very poor.
Very, very, yeah,
But we'll give you the shirt off. for that.
absolutely, yeah. And I want to go to Thailand, so much so like that.
Oh, yeah,
That would be a really nice place too, you know?
Bangkok.
Well, for me and my sister want to go because we have trouble finding shoes that fit our feet because we have very small feet.
Oh, yeah, holy moly. Are those
And-
mouse slippers? No, they're puppies.
The little, yeah, little puppy slippers.
Mice would be appropriate.
Anyway, so.
She's fun sized.
This has been such a different time. This is so much fun. I mean, interviews are not like this as a rule. So I love this so much. This has just been just a hoot, you
The
know?
mind of an autistic person, all over the place. You know, I do try to, I try to think about people's feelings, not because like, again, the socially awkward, like, it's so weird. There's the autistic side of me that's like, just say what you're thinking. And then there's a side of me that actually gives a crap about people
Yeah.
that I've learned through life. That's like, try and tone it down a little bit.
I've learned a long time ago, you know, because I'm in my 70s, I learned a long time ago that
Wouldn't believe that.
you can't, thank you, that you can't be blunt with, I tend to be a little bit more blunt.
Yeah.
And I've been told that, and it's like, well, why do I have to beat around the bush? You know, I'm not good in that gray
You
area,
can't keep everyone happy too.
No,
That's also
no.
what I've learned.
but I learned like people don't want direct honesty.
Yeah.
Like my ex told me I was too direct, so I said, would you like me to beat around the bush? And he said, well, it'd be easier to take. It's like,
That he didn't like it, right?
yeah, to me, that's so outrageous, you know, right?
Yeah, no, I was very blunt with my ex too. Like, I'm very honest. She
Yeah.
was super talented with woodworking, with art,
Oh,
with.
nice.
I've got some furniture that she made. That's beautiful, by the way, that piece over there. I'm looking at that right now.
The table.
Yeah.
That was on my husband, when I came out here, I married my husband after my ex, right?
Yeah.
He lived in a property up in Ryder Lake, and that was a maple tree on his property. And so, yeah, a neighbor had a mill, and he had to make the tree into.
We
a
got,
table.
my ex and I got married under an old, like 200-year-old willow tree. At the farmhouse that we were at, and I had lights hanging from. I did it all up like,
Oh.
I was on Twilight as well. I was on Breaking Dawn.
Okay.
The wedding scene. I was the DJ there. So I used some of the prop ideas for the tree Cause they had hanging lights.
Oh, my
Cause all their
God.
flowers had frozen the night before, the frozen flowers, they have to animate the flowers onto the hanging lights after the fact. They spent like $1 million getting flowers in winter and then left them outside.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
They froze. Anyway,
Yeah.
I met Anna Kendrick on that one, which is really freaking cool. She's awesome, and I've worked with her a few times. But anyway, name dropping again.
I like that. I don't mind.
Where was I
I
going?
don't know. No, we were talking.
Oh, I was saying, and I wanted wood from that willow tree.
Okay.
And did I end up getting any for making furniture? No.
No, that's.
But my mom's got some in her yard.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
So am I go missing? Is that what you're telling me?
maybe.
Don't tell his mom. Okay, this is all I'm making here. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, well, we're probably gonna run out of time soon.
We are. Anyway, I was saying I've got furniture at home that's made, and I made all the furniture on my patio.
Nice,
and-
yeah, great. Yeah,
Yeah.
great, great. Yeah, I love that, you know, I'm not, I can do some things with my hands, but anything where I have to measure, forget it. You know, if I made a table, the legs would be, you know, different sizes, so that just wouldn't work, right? Cheater.
I get the metal legs.
That's totally cheating. Anyway, so this has been so much fun. So to the audience, you know, you've been listening to Jamie Paul O'Neill, and who is an actor. He is not a resident alien, as I thought. That's disappointing, you know, to find out you weren't an alien.
Mellow greetings, fellow humans.
See, he might be lying about that, you know.
We
Yeah.
are coming for you.
Anyway, I just want to say to everybody, thank you so much for watching the show. I hope you continue to do so. Take care, everybody, and peace out.
Nanu, nanu.
There we go.